All right, Shalom. This is Chanaksa Amba Yashala from the Lions in the Yashala camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakak Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the archmen that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. It says, "And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels. And the dragon fought and his angels." All right. And that dragon is talking about is the European Union. All right. So you have the combination of the European Union, NATO, and the spearhead for that is America. All right. And I brought that scripture out because I've ran across this article today that says the Space Force will become the sixth branch of the military. All right. So you already have what you have called NASA that goes into outer space and does research. So now you're going to have an armed force out there in the space. And why are they out there? The scripture just said, Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. I read it again. It says, "And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels." All right. So by this, all this is funded by the EU, the Dragon, and the Illuminati, the elite families, right? That's who funds America. That's who owns the central banking system. That's who owns the Federal Reserve. All right. So this is being put together by the Dragon, for America to be building a military in outer space, a space force. All right. So it's no longer collecting data and research, trying to learn about, our galaxy, the Milky Way. It's now turned into them preparing for a war in heaven. And then they know Yahweh Shai is about to show up. That's why you see all these so-called UFO sightings everywhere. Because now they're preparing. If you watch the movie Independence Day, they're preparing for a war against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. All right, so let me read a little bit of this article. It says, "The Space Force will become the sixth branch of the military." It says, "After more than 60 years, the United States military adds another member to its family." All right. So now, the U.S. military is adding a Space Force, which is a military branch for outer space, being the sixth branch of the military. You have the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and National Guard. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, those are the five branches. And now you're adding the Space Force in as an extra branch of the military, preparing for the coming of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says a bipartisan defense budget agreement will authorize the creation of the Space Force. The Space Force will be like the Army or Air Force and distinctive military service under the Pentagon. All right, the service will take over space functions from existing services, welding them into a single independent branch overseen by a chief of space operations. All right. So Esau's creating an army in space, thinking they're going to prevail against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right. It says it's really happening. A bipartisan budget agreement for 2020 will see the creation of a new branch of the military. All right, so focus on that word military. Let's see what that word military means. All right, this is the military definition. It says adjective relating to or characteristic of soldiers or armed forces. The armed forces of a country. All right, so the armed forces, meaning armed meaning being equipped with some sort of weapon. All right, so what is a weapon built for? Weapon is built for war. Okay. All right, this is Slakia. Psalms 55 and 21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. All right, that's just the thought process of Esau, man. They're bringing it to the public's eye and the public's attention as if they're trying to protect humanity and protect, you know what I'm saying, civilization here on the earth. All right. But like, so they give you this whole thought process of freedom and democracy and safety, but really in actuality, they're creating war against the ultimate supreme being, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. And turning the whole world against, including the children, 2/3 of the children of Israel. Because Israel is supposed to be the lawgivers on this earth and the governors on this earth. But we're living in an upside down kingdom right now, which is it's been given unto the hands of the wicked. All right. So now, in scripture say they covered the face of the judges thereof, and they're making themselves. They have the whole world thinking that these elite have the whole world thinking that they're the judges. All right. But the true judges are the elect of the children of Israel. And his whole concept is war against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So they're trying to get the whole world just to go against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, just like how they did in the Tower of Babel when they built the tower to try to get to heaven, right? But really, Nimrod built the tower as we're trying to build a tower as a place of refuge for everybody, just in case the flood came again. And really, Nimrod wanted to avenge the death of his ancestors, and so he created this revolt, and that's why, and they worship Nimrod. The wicked worship Nimrod as a god, and that's the type of carnal mentality that Esau has right now, building a physical tower to heaven instead of building it spiritually. But the children of Israel, the elect of the children of Israel, are building it spiritually. All right. So this is Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords. Right. So with like all these things that Esau is doing with the Space Force and things like that, and trying to war against terrorism and war against crime and all these other type of things, is trying to create a sense of refuge or in hope for paradise in a wicked society. And 9 times out of 10, they create the chaotic situation, and then it's like somebody digging a ditch, right? And they're digging a ditch and they fill in the water, put sharks in there, right? And then they push you in the ditch. Now you're trying to fight for yourself to get out of the way of the shark. And then they put a life raft down there and pull you out, right? Now you're thanking them for saving your life, but they're the one that put you in that chaotic situation. It's called order by chaos, and that's what Esau is all about. So with this whole Space Force thing, they're promoting protection of humanity and things like that, but really it's a war against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. So going back to the article, it says, according to a draft of the 2020 National Defense Authorization Agreement, also known as the 2020 U.S. Defense Budget, the Pentagon will redesignate the U.S. Air Force Space Command, the U.S. Space Force, spinning it off from an arm of the Air Force into a separate service. All right, so it's separating from the Air Force. Okay, I thought it was talks about making a separation from the Marine, but they're talking about separating from the Air Force. Okay, which kind of makes sense. All right, it says the service will be headed by a chief of space operations, similar to how the United States Navy is headed by a chief of naval operations, and consists of the Space Force and such assets as may be organic therein. That's pretty ambiguous language, but probably means most of the Space Force space assets from satellite launching facilities like Vandenberg Air Force Base in California to spacecraft ground control bases like Rivier Air Force Base in Colorado. It'll also include America's network of GPS satellites the X-37B space plane, and other military space assets. The Space Force will also likely strip away a smaller number of assets of personnel from the U.S. Army and Navy. All right, well, I'm not going to read this whole article, but I hold on, let me save it. There we go. Okay, so now I'll put it in the description box. All right, I'm gonna get a couple scriptures real quick though. All right, this is Revelation 12:7. It says, "There was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels." All right, so now from there I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter, hold on, 14 and Slacking. Isaiah 14 and 9. All right, this is Isaiah 14 and 9. It says, "Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming." Matter of fact, let me get Obadiah real quick. Let me get Obadiah first. Obadiah 1. All right, this is, I'm going to just start at 1. This is Obadiah 1 and 1. It says, "The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, power, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is set among the heathen." And that ambassador among the heathen is Esau. And the ambassador among Esau is Amalek. All right, it says, "Arise ye, and let us rise up to battle against her, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to battle these heathens. You know what I'm saying? He's going to battle Amalek. He's going to battle Esau. And, you know, he's made Esau small among the heathens. All right, he's the only, and he's greatly despised among the heathens. All right, he's the only nation in the scriptures that's not going to get any type of mercy. After 1,000 years of slavery, these other nations are going to get some form of living, but Esau is going to be eradicated off the earth, according to Obadiah 1 and 18. They're going to get Obadiah 1 and 18. All right, it says, verse 3, it says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is on high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" All right. Verse 4. All right, this is the point. Because Esau's pride is what has him lifted up. He has his head lifted up high, and he's really nothing, man. His success is an illusion. It was all put forth by the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai can show his power. All right. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. And that's where they come from, the Caucasus Mountains, man. First from Mount Seir in the Caucasus Mountains. You can't, you know what I'm saying? That spirit is going to follow them wherever they go. That's why there's concrete everywhere. All right. It says, "Whose habitation is on high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down?" And that's the form of white supremacy. That's how they think they're the dominant race over everybody, but they're the minority. Got everybody else thinking that they're you know what I'm saying, that we're the minorities. No, you're the minority. You're the only nation that has no pigmentation, that has no type of melanin or carbon in your skin. All right. Verse 4, it says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord." So you have that. That's also his mentality, meaning being prideful and high-minded, and it's also him setting up them satellites and the Space Force in outer space. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to show up and blow them to smithereens, man. Blow them to smithereens. All right, so let me go back to Isaiah 14. It says Isaiah 14 and 9, it says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. All right, so all the chaos that Esau stirred up in his time, at his time period of him, his habitation being on high, he's created a hellish situation beneath him, below. But scriptures say, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. All right. So let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. It says, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So all the things that have been spoken about in the Bible are gonna, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be certified, like put a stamp on it once the end is manifested, because then the end is gonna explain the whole beginning, the whole process of time of creating Yasharallah as a nation. All right, from the beginning to the end, to make us pure, righteous, you know. So that all that and who the wicked is, that's all going to be manifested at the end. Even though it seems like it's taking a long time, it's taking over, you know what I'm saying, over thousands of years, you know. But that's like 10 days for Yahweh Shem, 9-10 days for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, because it says 1,000 years to the Lord is like a day unto us. All right, it says verse 4, it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. All right, so the soul of Esau is not upright. It's unrighteous. All right, he's not an upright man. He's a snake. He has to crawl around on his belly. All right, the only thing that he can lift up is his head. That makes him prideful. He can't stand up on his own. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gave the children of Israel to be upright. You know, walk upright spiritually also. You know, not crawl around among the dirt like the curse of the serpent. All right, the serpent, the devil. Satan, and he transgresses by wine, meaning his philosophies, his lies. You know, he kills people by lies, because the scriptures say life and death are in the power of the tongue. You know, so if you're teaching the truth, you're teaching life, which is the tree of life, which is the truth, which is the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But if you're teaching lies, you're teaching death. All right. It says Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right? So going back to the hell that is moved from beneath you to waiting for at that coming, roughly paraphrasing, meaning all that hell that he stirred up throughout his reign is going to be down there waiting on him. All that chaos and mischief that he performed while he had his habitation on high, and he didn't have to be in the midst of it, it's going to be waiting for him at his fall. All right, go back to Isaiah 14 and 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So in the midst of this devil trying to fight, he's going to be fighting against these other nations, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the angels are going to show up. All right? And he's going to have to fight against them. The whole world's going to have to fight against them. It says, all they that speak shall say unto thee, say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, so that's going to happen when these nations rise up against America. All right, so Space Force or whatever they got, it's the aftermath, the end all tell all is inevitable. You know, the children of Israel are going to be set up with Yahweh by Shem Yahushai to rule the earth, and these other nations are going to go into slavery. All right, it says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, O son of the morning? How are they cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? All right. All right, let me get the scripture. All right. This is Isaiah 14 and 15. It says, thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right, so they're going to be brought all the way down to hell from America into the pit, the bottomless pit, which is Europe, man. All of them go from American Esau to European Esau is going to be brought all the way down, man. All right. I want to close it out with just one scripture. This is Psalm 68 and 17. It says, the chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Yahweh Shai is among them, and as in Sinai in the holy place. All right, not Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai dwells in us, right? And he's gonna be in the midst of those chariots that show up, man. They said the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are 20,000. 20,000 chariots, man, that are able to move left, right, up, down, back, forth without even turning. And catch out at great speeds, like technology that Esau ain't never seen before. That's why they're trying to build that Space Force. All right, you know, but Yahweh Shem Yahushai is gonna bring them down, man. Hold on, I got one more scripture I wanna end it out with. I gotta find it. Okay, there it is. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 21. It says, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall fly to the mark. And that's beautiful, man. That's Michael and his angels and Yahweh Shai and the 20,000 chariots showing up. You know what I'm saying? To go to war with this devil, man. The serpent, the Satan, the devil, Esau. All right, that's just beautiful. With that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying. All right, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakar Kodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.